Sangue que é como
Serthar Institute is located in a broad valley near the Tibetan town of Serthar, to the east of Sichuan's capital, Chengdu. During 2001, most of its well over 8,000 students were evicted and around 2,000 of their homes were demolished by Chinese laborers under the supervision of teams of military and armed police personnel.
It all started last year on June the 26th, when 50 trucks and jeeps full of Chinese arrived at Serthar Institute. Among them were many soldiers, policemen, and high officials. We were frightened to see so many Chinese. Right away they started to destroy thousands of houses of our monks and nuns without explaining why. They used all their power to crack down on us. This clearly proves that Chinese propaganda that Tibetans enjoy religious freedom is untrue. The destruction of Serthar alone is enough to show the hypocrisy of China. I strongly feel that the Chinese claim that Tibetans enjoy freedom and happiness is a lie. I have witnessed this myself.
Prior to the destruction, regional work teams had been conducting political indoctrination sessions at Sethar, distributing documents on Marxist ideology and demanding denunciation of the Dalai Lama and allegiance to the Communist Party. This cleansing of religion stemmed from Beijing's patriotic education and strike hard campaigns imposed throughout Tibet from 1997. In 1999, a sealing of 1,400 students was ordered, and around 1,000 ethnic Chinese from the mainland and Buddhists from East and Southeast Asia were totally banned from studying there. By late 2000, Tibetan and Chinese students were told officially in a directive from President Jiang Zemin to return to their places of origin. By spring 2001, students were being transported back to their home provinces, and a ban was imposed on the daily teaching and ritual cycles given by Sethar's founder, Khenpo Rinpoche, and his niece, the abbess of Sethar Nunnery. Having razed the housing blocks of overseas and mainland Chinese students in June 2001, by the first week of July, the demolition teams trained their pickaxes on the nunnery. Overseers of the demolition were Wu Jing, the PLA's much-feared crack commando units, sent from Western Command headquarters in Chengdu. Over 2,000 security personnel, including the Public Security Bureau and work teams from the PRC's United Front Department, camped on the outskirts of Sethar to carry out Beijing's orders. Why was Sethar targeted? The answer lies in the personality and scholarship of Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok, the most charismatic Lama remaining today in occupied Tibet. From simply being his personal retreat center, the valley began to attract practitioners of all Buddhist traditions from far and wide in the late 1970s. Established as a non-sectarian institute in 1980, Sethar's student population had swelled to almost 9,000 by 2001. The level of scholarship was high. Khenpo and his niece, Jetsunma Munso, gave daily teachings to assemblies of monks, nuns, and lay practitioners. Their prayer cycles and initiations drew up to 30,000 Buddhist practitioners from both mainland China and Tibet. In 1987, Khenpo had taken hundreds of his disciples on pilgrimage to China's sacred Wu Taishan mountain, and later, in Beijing, his teachings drew congregations of over 5,000, including Chinese and Mongolians. The late Panchen Lama then persuaded Beijing authorities to grant Sethar academy status. But in 1990, Khenpo visited the Dalai Lama in Dharamsala, renewing acquaintance from their previous lives. And then, in 1993, Khenpo's following spread around the world when he toured the United States, Europe, and Asia. Today, Khenpo Jigme Phuntsok and his niece are held incommunicado in Chengdu. He is said to be receiving medical treatment. His health is uncertain, his well-being unknown.
Thank you.
I think the reason for this crackdown is Beijing's fear that we'll agitate for freedom and human rights. The authorities are so insecure. In all its 22 years, Serthar students have done nothing to break Chinese law, yet they destroyed all our houses and left us nowhere to go. I'm so sad and depressed. I renounced my family to join Sethar and spend my life in religious studies. So when I was expelled, I felt like a fish flung out of water and left to die. I now hear that my Khenpo is being held somewhere in China. With all our homes gone, hundreds of nuns are now homeless and facing lots of hardship. This is the tragedy of our institute.